I'm Reverend Dr. Terry Gallagher, and I want to welcome you back to another edition of Come and See, where we look at the hope that's for the future when our faith guides are used to technology rather than our greed. You know, we've been having an absolutely gorgeous weekend. It's one of them weekends, well, if you go by the poinsettias, we shouldn't be having, right? But we're eager to take advantage of it. It's one of the things that makes climate change a hard sell in the Midwest, because we like November days and December days that look like this. And so all of us turn to our grills and we think we can get one more grilling in, you know? We can have one more time for the optimum grilled meal. You know, I have to confess that I used to be a snob and would only cook on charcoal because it would give just the right flavor. And then when you read some studies, you realize just how bad it is for the environment to cook on charcoal, as well as for your digestive tract to cook on charcoal. You need to rethink that. We went all the way to electric because our condo gets its electricity from the wind, as we directed our supplier to do. And so the grill essentially is carbon free. But why talk about grills today? Well, I want to talk about a big measure, and that's cook stoves. Actually, the need for clean cook stoves. It's hard to believe, but more than billions of people around the world cook today over open flames. And open flames might be charcoal, or they might be animal dung, or they might be wood that feeds it. But when you take this and you put it inside whatever dwelling you live in, and you burn charcoal or animal dung or wood scraps, that releases a pollution that's deadly. Millions of people die every year simply by the air pollution in their dwelling caused by the cook stoves. There's also a big climate change effect because incomplete combustion, which little cook stoves do, particularly if they're burning charcoal or dung, gives off not only greenhouse gases, but gives off something very much more potent, which is black carbon. Black carbon is 1,000,000 times more heat trapping than CO2. The good news is it's very short-lived. It only stays in the atmosphere for a couple of weeks rather than hundreds of years like carbon dioxide. The bad news is when it gets on the ground, it coats the snow, and it makes the snow absorb that much more sunlight. So black carbon is a major problem. But so is killing millions of people simply by the way that they cook. There's been one study that says that we're never going to solve the global poverty program and the global climate crisis until we address and help people cook better. Right? Why should we be concerned about this? Right now, we've got all our major political leaders and statesmen saying the only thing to be worried about is right here at home. In fact, we can draw boundaries around us. So why should we worry about what billions of people across the globe are suffering from? This is where rubber hits the road if you're a Christian. In the Gospel of Luke, he has the disturbing accusation by Jesus to beware of the scribes who like to dress in fancy clothes and sit in the very best seats, and who like to say long prayers and speeches, and at the same time they're devouring widows' houses. There's a special place in hell for them. So should we help others come to a different way of cooking so it protects their health as well as protects their environment? Of course, that's a silly question to ask. Here's the thing. People have been working on redesigning cook stoves, whether it's charcoal ones or the small ones within the house, for a number of years. And in truth, they made an early mistake, which was to take a lab design and try to put it out in the field without asking the people who are going to use it whether it works for them. And one of the strongest cultural needs we have is in how we prepare our food, how we serve our food, how our food tastes. I can tell you that from traveling around the globe. That's what's different in place to place to place. And so one size does not fit all when it comes to cook stoves. But we can work with this. We can have the scientists and the engineers take their technology, sit down with the local people, and in cooperation, come up with a design that fits their cultural needs and at the same time protects their health and the health of the greater environment. The numbers are really big on how much it hits it. In fact, it's in the top 24 climate change effects that we have to take care of. Clean cook stoves. You wouldn't think it, but you take a small problem, you multiply it by the billions of people who are doing it, and now you've got a big problem that you need to solve. So can we do this? Can we introduce a new technology to a people that might approach it with suspicion? The answer is to do it in cooperation. To find the early users are willing to try something new and to work with them so it's a success. It's the basics of any marketing campaign. You want the early adapters to be excited about it so they tell their neighbors, come and see what I've got in my house. I can cook and my kids don't cough anymore and the air is clear. It also has other effects. It frees up the women who are burdened with these kind of tasks from spending their days scrounging for wood or for whatever they're going to burn in the cook stove, and gives them the opportunity to learn, for example. It's a major step towards solving health issues, poverty issues, and global climate change. Should we do this? The brother of Jesus, James, has a book in the Bible. In the 2nd chapter, he says it very strongly. What good is it if you see somebody in need, somebody desperately needing warm clothes or food, and all you do is say to them, be of good faith, take care, be of heart. James says, if your faith does not contain good works, then it is dead. Clean cook stoves. You wouldn't think it, but it's a huge chance for us to improve people's health and the global environment. Can we do this? We absolutely can do this. There's no reason not to do this. We can do this. Our God is calling us. See you next time on Come and See, where we'll explore yet another technology that has hope for the future when our faith says we're going to do that. You and I, for our kids' sake and for our grandkids' sake, are going to do that. Clean cook stoves. See you next time.
And faith is not in knowing, it's a willingness to learn. And faith is found in loving when there's nothing in return. So come and see, around the bend, look my friend, and what could be? Come with me, come with me. There's so much more to know, so come and see. There's so much more to know, so come and see.